Well, good morning, fellow yearbookers. This is Jamie Silver with Herf Jones Yearbooks. Happy Monday to you. Today we're going to have a slightly different podcast. It is about 3 times the length of the normal one, but I wanted to share a presentation I did recently at KEMPA, Kettle Moraine Press Association Fall Conference, and the topic is capturing quality audio and video and the use of drones and other stabilized cameras. So again, it's a little bit longer than usual, but I hope you're interested in the topic and enjoy. So today is all about lights, camera, and action. We're going to talk a little bit about drones. We're going to talk about some other cameras. Again, my name is Jamie Silver with Herf Jones Yearbooks.
I'm Joelle Sexton. I'm also with Herf Jones Yearbooks.
And let's get started. Taking your photos and video to new heights in student publications. As we get started here, I want to share this photo of Notre Dame College Prep in Niles, Illinois. This is an annual event that the band director, a friend of mine, puts on, and we do this. He sets up this plan on the football field. We ask the fire department to come out, a photographer, and the photographer's in the basket of the ladder. And the funny story here is we shared with everyone that we were going to be doing this photo with the drone, so I'm flying this behind the fireman. And as you can see by the expression on his face, we forgot to tell him. We told everyone else we were going to be doing this today, but the lesson to be shared with this one is make sure you get everyone on the same page. So as you can tell, he was a little caught off guard when I flew this right by his head, but got a great picture, and we'll show that at the end of the presentation. So I just want to start with a little bit of background on myself. Again, my name is Jamie Silver, for those of you who don't know me watching, with Herf Jones Yearbooks, and really ever since birth, cameras have been a big part of my life. I grew up with my dad who is still a commercial photographer, so I grew up in and around the photo studio. So to me, this is all normal stuff, but I realize for many others it's not. It's just sort of my passion and background. And since, as a little kid, in middle school and high school, I was involved in the student newspaper and yearbook, and my passion for storytelling with both photography and videography started there, and it's been ever since. I did learn in the old days with video, learning analog video and editing, where you had a whole room full of equipment. You go from one tape to another, and it was a lot more challenging in the fact there's a learning curve, but you also couldn't go back in time if you made a mistake. You kind of had to start over. So the beauty of the technology today with digital video and non-destructive editing, you can piece together and go back and make corrections. It's some great tools on the market. And in recent years, I've taken this whole hobby, passion of visual storytelling to new heights with the drone and other cameras we're going to talk about today. So, audio, video stills, and how to bring it all together in print. The one thing we all have in common here listening to the podcast today is we're all in the print world, right? Probably yearbook. You might have a couple students or teachers listening who are involved in the student newspaper, but we're all involved in print, so what can we do to bring it all together? So why consider adding video to your publication? Well, the first is we live in a video-dominated world, right? Whether it's our handheld, smartphone, tablet, computer screens and TVs at school, at home, even restaurants and stores. Video is just one of the main ways of communicating and sharing stories. So with that said, I'd like to urge you to consider using video as a tool to promote your student publication as one option. Consider using it as a tool to expand coverage, because once you capture this video, it can be shared at school, online, social media, and apps. Two of those apps where we talked about during the presentation was augmented reality via Erasma or QR codes. And the sample here, the picture, is from the Latin School of Chicago. We worked together on I believe it was their 125th anniversary. They had a parade, and in that parade they had photos, as you can see in the film strips there, of each class. They had their own float and portion of the parade. The beauty of Erasma is you see holding the phone over the book. As you point it at the photos that are designated, it comes to life with video from that parade. So how cool to bring, audio video from an event at school, homecoming, whatever events you might want to share in video form with audio, interviews, whatever you can think of, and combine it with the print. So that's one way to merge the two, both video and print. And two of the apps we're going to talk about, and Joelle's going to share more with you, is QR codes and Erasma.
So how many of you have seen a QR code? I mean, you've had McDonald's, you've seen QR codes.
They're everywhere.
They're not very pretty, and they don't look great in your publication always, but there's a reason why I like them more than Erasma. Erasma is very pretty because Erasma is just a picture that you can link to a video. A QR code looks something like this. You can customize them a little bit more, and there's lots of free sites out there. Both apps are free to use. The nice thing about this, we don't see anything mucked up, and if it doesn't work, nobody knows any better. We see something like this, we know we're supposed to link to it somehow. These typically go to a YouTube channel site, so they can be 15 minutes long. You don't have to condense them, edit them, anything else. The thing they don't like about Erasmus is the fact that they have to be very compressed videos, under I think 100
megabytes or something.
100 megabytes.
Small.
So
Yeah.
you can have a long video, but you have to compress it teeny, teeny, tiny to get it to work. And people have to follow your channel also. Also, when you link one of these with a phone, if you walk away from it, it stops displaying. QR codes, once you link to it, it links you to the YouTube video, and you can walk away and keep watching this 15-minute cool video. So it's just a preference on how you want to set your videos up, where you want to house them at, and what you want them to look like. Disadvantages and advantages to both.
The other idea here is to learn more current and marketable skills. So especially students listening to this podcast, learning some marketable skills for your future career in journalism. If you start your career in journalism after high school, you're probably going to be required to work in multimedia, right? So not just print, possibly radio, TV. We all wear several hats in the future, I think, even more so. So learning this now is a great skill to take with you. We'll talk about some of the tools used available for iPhones, GoPros, other action cameras, and drones. And in general, these drones, action cameras, and all these fun gadgets, they're great for what we call B-roll, to add a twist to the storyline, but they're really not good for primary footage, primarily because they're very wide angle. So you'll see in a couple samples here I'm going to share with you that they're great tools to splice in a different perspective, height with the drone, or a stabilized camera that I'll show you to bring a video to life a little bit more. So let's look at some examples. This first one is a video that I put together with a coworker of mine for De Pere High School. You can see it on their webpage as well. The full length, I just cut down a couple segments of it, so I have 2 parts here to share with you, and they're great examples of just very basic camera work, having the camera locked down on a tripod and a microphone to capture really good audio. It does start with a drone, so I'm going to play that now, and we'll be back in a minute.
Many years ago, when I was a young boy, my mom and dad and I took a ride through De Pere. I can remember riding on Broadway Street and seeing the river and seeing the boats in the river, and looking back across from the river, I saw a building. I asked my dad and mom what that building was. That's De Pere High School. And I thought, man, a high school on the river with the windows looking out, that'd be a neat place to go to school.
As principal at De Pere High School, I am proud and honored to be able to introduce you to De Pere High. My goal is to provide you with some of the positive experiences that our students and staff encounter on a daily basis, and to show you some of what makes De Pere High School such a special place. Today we're going to show you a little why every day is a great day to be a Redbird.
I just love the spirit of the school. Everybody seems to really enjoy being here.
So as you can see, it's a great way to connect the dots with various cameras. You get both the normal steady shot, camera on a tripod or moving slightly with a good audio source and mic, and then spliced in are some of these moving shots with the drone or handheld camera we'll show you a little bit later. Here's the end of that video.
There's such a sense of community and a sense of belonging in the role that I have here as part of the school district. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
My high school basketball coach, Mr. Jim Trotke, became principal and brought me over to De Pere to be a teacher, a coach, and an athletic director. I've never been happier. I can't think of anything else I would enjoy doing more than working and teaching in De Pere.
So again, here's another sample. This is a video that I produced at our yearbook plant, in Kansas City. And the idea here was to show you how your yearbooks are made at the plant and all the people that work on them. So it's a short little video. It's also available on YouTube, but just to show you an example again, using a drone both outside the plant and inside. And that's a whole nother topic, flying indoors. You gotta be very careful. But this is a cool short little video. Play that now.